guys, it's Tina and I am back, and I am here with an Ulta and Drugstore makeup haul. And I know you guys are like, who are you? You don't even really like drugstore products and you don't do drugstore hauls. And I really don't, because I'm not the type of person that rushes out and buys drugstore makeup just to buy drugstore makeup and get tons of it and do a haul and then do drugstore videos that aren't really true to me. If I don't use these products and I'm not interested in them, then I'm not gonna talk about them and I'm not gonna feature them on my channel. I only try products that I'm genuinely interested in myself and that I want to try out, and then I'll share that with you guys. But I don't just run out and do drugstore hauls just for the sake of doing drugstore hauls and getting views and getting subscribers, you know what I mean? And I know it's an easy, surefire way to get a bunch of subscribers to your channel if you do a lot of drugstore hauls, because people are really interested in that. But it's just not my jam, and I'm not gonna do something that doesn't feel genuine to me. But I did find a bunch of inexpensive products and products at the drugstore that aren't as inexpensive as I expected. I was very surprised. I went to Rite Aid. It's specifically Rite Aid because it's Ulta and Rite Aid. I went to Rite Aid and oh my god, I saw so many bomb products and I picked up quite a few, but I wanted to show you, just give you a little tour around the Rite Aid too. I'll show that a little bit later on, but we're gonna go ahead and start out with the Ulta stuff and get those out the way because I am very excited about those things as well. And we'll just jump right into it. And the ring is coming off, guys. I have to take the rings off because I want to get down and dirty and do swatches for you, so we're gonna just jump into the thing. Now, Ulta has been killing it with the sales lately. They have their 21 days of beauty sale going on right now. You should definitely jump over to Ulta.com and check out what is included in the 21 days of beauty, because they have different items every day that are for like 50% off, and you should definitely check out something if you're interested in it, because I'm gonna check out some products too. But I went ahead and took advantage of their 20% off sale. Now, it wasn't 20% off all brands, it excluded the prestige brands. So Urban Decay, the higher end brands, all those brands were excluded, but it did include all the drugstore items and all like the Ulta products. And they even had a sale on some of their older products too, and that's the first thing that I grabbed. They had a sale for Platinum Reward members, so it's a Platinum perk, and it was the Urban Decay XX Vice Limited Reloaded palette, and they had this on sale for like, I think 40% off. I got it really inexpensive. I think it was like $30 something, and it's just the Vice Reloaded palette with shades that I wasn't really interested. Like when I saw this palette get released, I was not completely blown away. I wasn't interested in the shades. The shades look very similar to other Vice palettes. They look very similar to other Urban Decay palettes. The colors just didn't wow me, but because it was on sale, I said let me go ahead and grab it, because there are a couple of the shades in here that I can find very useful, and a couple of these shades are from their vintage collection, so from way back when they had these shades, and they're re-promoting them now, and they're from older palettes as well. So if I missed out on any older palettes, they're some of the best shades or the most popular shades that are being re-promoted in this palette. And they have shades like Gash, Acid Rain, and UVB that were limited edition colors, and now they're available. They're actually available in single shades, and I'll show those to you in another haul that's coming up. Yes, I have multiple hauls to share with you guys, and I will link that down below once it's posted. But this is the Vice Limited Reloaded palette, and I'm not thrilled with it. Like, I could have done without it, but it's something to add to my collection. I know that's silly, like why buy things just to add to your collection if you're not thoroughly in love with them? But it's a usable palette, it has fun colors in it, and I'm not mad at it, I'm just not over the moon with it. This is Goldmine, this is Acid Rain, this is UVB, and then this shade here is Gash. Another palette that I picked up is the BH Cosmetics and Carly Bible palette. And I don't even check for Carly Bible like that. Like, I know of her and I think she's really beautiful, really nice girl, but I just don't watch her videos. She's not my type of person to watch, but really beautiful girl. And I saw her collaboration with BH Cosmetics, and I'm not even a fan of BH Cosmetics, to be honest, or any company like that that does those bulk private label palettes. But they do different collaborations with different YouTubers, and this one was one that popped up in Ulta, and I said, let me go ahead and try it out. Now, they're all neutral tones, and what I found from them is that they're very lightly pigmented. So if you're darker skin like me or darker, these colors aren't really going to show up too vividly on your skin tone, but you can definitely use them damp. The matte shades are buttery and soft, and they don't have parabens, which is a good thing. They have decent ingredients. The highlight shades are actually really beautiful. So if you only got the palette for the 4 highlight shades at $14.95, it's kind of worth it. And the shades aren't bad at all. Just don't expect any stellar, outstanding shades. They're very run-of-your-mill, daily, soft, subtle kind of shades. They're not intense. Don't expect anything stellar. And even though I wouldn't recommend you run out and get this palette, if you are a beginner, if you're into very soft looks and you're just looking for a simple everyday palette, this might be a good one to check out. And at the price point, it really isn't a bad buy. Like, here are a couple of eyeshadows from the palette. That's one of the mattes. That's the darkest matte. You see, it doesn't really pick up that well. And this is a finger swatch, and brush isn't gonna do much better. This tone though does show up pretty nicely. And then the shimmer shades, of course, are gonna be much better, have much better color payoff, and just apply a little bit more smoothly, but they're not really the best shades. And then here are the highlight tones, which I think are the best part of the palette. That is the lightest highlight. That's the second one. That's, of course, it gets deeper as you go. So you have a lot of options for highlights, and you can use those as eyeshadows too, but I think the highlighters are the best part of the palette. Now, they were having a buy one get one 50% off a few of their brands, and Kruice was one of them. And I wanted to try out the Kruice liquid metal eyeshadows. I've been hearing a lot about these eyeshadows. People are claiming that these are similar to the foiled eyeshadows from MAC. And I was like, I don't think so, but I'm gonna try them out. And they are kind of a baked eyeshadow, and you can use them wet to get higher. Oh! Somebody look at this. Look at this. What just happened? I'm not gonna worry myself for now. I'm just gonna put it back in. And that's my favorite shade actually, because it's a beautiful neutral shade. That shade was Under Treasure. That's one of my favorite shades. Oh man. And they have a few interesting shades to check out. So here they are. They come in these little compacts with a wavy waffle print on it. Beautiful print. And here are a few of the shades. This first shade here is Mauves Like Jagger. This one is We Are the Champagnes. Then this one that broke, I said, Under Treasure. This tealish green shade, that one is What Do You See, as in S-E-A. And then this dark brown one, which is the one that I was chasing after because I'm like, I have to get that dark brown. That one is Nougat It Right, like nougat in candy. And they're very beautiful shimmery shades, so I'm very excited to try these out. And then another brand that they had buy one get one 50% off was Makeup Revolution. And I've heard a lot about Makeup Revolution, and I just never jumped the gun. I saw it on the Ulta website and I'm like, nah, I don't know. I want to touch it. I want to play with it in stores. And my Ulta that's nearby me actually has a makeup display with Makeup Revolution, and they had all these products on display, and I'm like, oh my god. And the sale was the perfect time because they're buy one get one 50% off. They're a little pricier, but not that much. They're still drugstore level prices, but some of their products are a little bit more expensive, like their palettes, which I would actually expect. Now, some of their products are really impressive, and I'm so happy I decided to go ahead and try them out. The first thing I'll talk about is the Ultra Strobe Balm. So again, it's Makeup Revolution. They have 2 strobe balms. So they come in these beautiful little silver boxes, and there are 2 shades available. They have Hypnotic, and then this one is Euphoria. So Hypnotic is more of the golden yellow shade, and then Euphoria is more of a pinky hue. And this is what they look like. So again, they're like a balm. So they're a creamy texture, and they dry down to a powdery finish. This one is Hypnotic, so you see it's a yellow gold, and you blend it out on your skin and it just gives you that golden glow. And then Euphoria, which is the pinky one, gives you that pinky glow. My veins are looking extra green tonight. Look at that. Oh my god. Now I am wearing Euphoria as a highlight right now. And do you see that pinky glow? Listen, this is so beautiful. I just applied it with my fingers and blended it out, and it blended out so well, and I blended it over powder. And it blended in so well, it didn't catch or anything. And then I applied blush over it, and it didn't cause my blush to cling or go patchy. It's just good. It's some good stuff. And then I grabbed a couple of their matte powder blushes because buy one, get one, c'est comme cielo. So I have the shade New Rules, which is this bright Carly pink. You can see that from here. You have this one, it's called Fusion. It's more of a dusty rose shade. And then I have the shade Nude, which is really a dusty nude shade. And I am wearing the one New Rules right now. And it's very pigmented, but it blends out really easily. Do have to be careful though, because it can get powdery, but they're so soft. So like I said, they can get intense really quickly, but they blend out easily, like very easily. This one is New Rules, this one is Fusion, and this one is the Nude. And again, very pigmented, very beautiful blushes. And I am happy to report that they work very nicely for the price. I also grabbed two of their Vivid Baked blushes. I have the shade All I Think About Is You and Make Love Instead. They're baked blushers. So this one is All I Think About Is You, and then this one is Make Love Instead. And honestly, they don't look that much different. All I do is think about you, and they don't really show up. These are going to be more highlight shades for me. They're going to be very light, pinky, peachy highlights, and I don't mind that. If you see on my skin, they give more of a beautiful glow rather than like, oh, here's a blush. It's still a blushy pink color, but on me, it's going to be more of a shimmery highlight because they are so light. So if you're lighter complexion, maybe check these out. If you're darker complexion, check out the matte ones because those have more color payoff and intensity. And another thing that I picked up are their Vivid Baked bronzers. Ouch. I have my little my little tray right here with everything. But I picked up the shade Ready to Go and Rock On World. And Ready to Go is the medium tone. They have a lighter tone, and then Rock On World is the very dark bronzy golden shade. And these again are very beautiful shades, but honestly these are going to be more highlight colors for me. As you can see, the medium shade is almost like a very subtle glow on my skin. I could almost set my entire face with that. That's how light it is. But this bronzy shade though, oh my god. And I actually really like see how they look on my hand. Those are gonna be really beautiful highlights for me. Again, the shades here in the drugstore, you have to be careful when you're darker skin tone. You tend to use these colors more as highlights rather than bronzers or blushes. Sometimes you just have to make do. I wish it was different, but that's the way it is. I also picked up 3 of their palettes. I picked up the Redemption Iconic Elements palette. This palette has a ton of parabens in it and very basic ingredients. It's literally mica, talc, mineral oil, and then dimethicone and some parabens. But it's a neutral tone palette. It's a all matte palette except for one shade. I'm gonna check it out, but I don't have high hopes for it because I'm not really gonna use this too much with the parabens. I try to stay away from parabens in my eyeshadows. While I'll accept parabens sometimes in my face products where I know it's not easily absorbed into my skin, my eyes are very sensitive and they can absorb things. You know, through your tear ducts, you'll sneeze and you'll see eyeshadow. Tell me you have not blown your nose and seen your eyeliner come out in the snot. Okay, that's gross. But those are the eyeshadows. Not bad pigmentation at all. So I'll try it out and let you know. Like, I'm not, oh my god, no parabens at all, ever. I'll try it out and let you know, but I'm not going to use this repeatedly on myself. I also got the Iconic Smoky palette. So this one has more smoky tones in it. Now, I will say this. A lot of the shades do look similar. Like, look, 3 silvers, then these shades. But again, if you're doing like a smoky eye and you're going for light to dark, you're going to use a bunch of these shades together. So it's not bad at all. And looking at the pigmentation, I mean, compared to the Carly Bible palette, the pigmentation is definitely a lot better. So those are the two eyeshadow palettes, and then I picked up the Radiance Radiant Lights palette, which has their baked highlighters. I was gonna pick up the individual highlighters, but they have really light shades, and I'm like, wait, they're bronzers or highlighters for me. I'll stick to that. But I said, let me go ahead and pick up the palette since I get 3 of the shades and I can test them out. And they're not bad shades at all. In fact, this is the deepest shade, but in fact, these actually apply like the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders. And you see there, they're very light shades, of course, very, very light. So you see that's a very light, that can be used to set your highlight. Another very light shade, and then this shade here, which is the deepest shade. Now these are a very light, airy, powdery finish. I think you can definitely use these as highlight powders, but on darker skin, be careful because those can go 0 to ashy real quick. But they're light and airy powders, and I want to see how they compare to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders, because those are light colors too, but if you use them very lightly, they can give you this ethereal glow without being too overwhelming. I also went ahead and grabbed a couple of their lip glosses. Now they have, not lip glosses, but lip lacquers, which are, they have matte lip lacquers, and then they have lip glosses as well. So I picked up a couple shades from them. I wanted to try these out. So I picked up these here, which I have some colorful shades, some pops of color. Like I said, some of them are lip lacquers, which they're supposed to be a matte finish. And I've been trying out liquid lipsticks left and right, guys. I've been trying out so many liquid lipsticks because I find that I have always loved matte lipsticks. Without them being liquid lipsticks, just matte lipsticks, I've always liked a matte finish. So liquid lipsticks are obviously right up my alley. And I've just been enjoying them. I found some really good formulas, and I want to share a roundup with you guys and showcase some of the colors. But here we have their Velvet Lacquers, which are supposed to dry down matte. These are the Velvet Lacquers, right? The bright pink shade at the top is You Took My Love. Then the red shade is Attract. That deeper kind of berry tone is Rebel. And then that dark tone down here, that's Vamp. So those are their Velvet Lacquers, which again, dry matte. And then I picked up a nude shade, which is a Lip Euphoria, which I think is the gloss, because it looks glossy. And then the Intense Lacquer, which I think is just a liquid lipstick without drying matte. So those are the two nudes I picked up at the top here, with this one being the Lip Euphoria in the shade Karma. And then this one is Nothing Like Anything. So definitely excited to try these out. I also picked up these 3 products here from Shea Moisture to include in my Bomb Makeup Challenge. And I want to do the challenge, but I also don't want to just go and get products just to get products and use them in the challenge just to use them and then never use them again. I want to actually get products and test them out and try them out before I do the challenge, so I can recommend really good Black owned makeup brands to you guys, and not just, oh, just for the hell of the challenge. And I want to recommend really good products to you, so I'm not doing it just to do it. I'm doing it to showcase really good products. You know what I mean? So these 3 shades are from Shea Moisture. This is a blush shade in the shade Spice. I love this blush. I couldn't find it in my collection, so I went ahead and picked it up again. Then we have a mineral eyeshadow. This is the shade Lily. And I actually picked this up to use as a highlight. Isn't that beautiful? It's actually a bronzy eyeshadow. And then I picked up the shade Montana, which is also like a highlight shade, but I would love that as an inner tear duct highlight. So I'm going to try these out some more and use them in the challenge. I also picked up the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream for Oily Skin. Now I love the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundations. Love it. One of my favorite drugstore foundations. And I wanted to try the BB cream out because it says it's for oily skin, and who doesn't love that? And it says it dries matte and it's oil free, won't clog pores, suitable for sensitive skin, and it lasts all day. And I bought 2 shades. I bought 560 deep and 550 medium deep. I mixed these 2 because they just don't match, but at the price point I'm okay with buying 2 shades to mix them. And I actually do like this product. It does stay very matte, and I'm gonna be wearing this a lot more you know, on my light days, because I like to wear very light foundation. I don't like heavy foundation, and these two shades are really good. I also picked up some lashes from the drugstore, because if you can get great lashes at the drugstore, that's where you should get them and save your dollars, because ain't nobody got time to be spending $30 on no mink lashes. Excuse you. So I picked up these Kiss Ever Easy lashes. There were 4 pairs, but you got 1 free, so I have 5 pairs here. And they're kind of like wispy lashes. And then I also picked up these Ardell Studio Effect wispy lashes, and also their wispies, which I love the wispy lashes from Ardell. They're one of the best lashes on the market, and that style is all over the place, but Ardell is like the pioneers of it, and I love the style. And the Studio Effects is like the wispy lashes with additional layers on top, which makes it a fuller lash, and they're really good, so definitely check those out. I'm wearing the Studio Wispies right now, and I really love them. They're comfortable, they're lightweight, I don't feel them at all, and they are a joy to wear, and you can reuse them multiple times, and it's really inexpensive. And then I saw this powder, and I just heard Tati in my head, Glam Life Guru, just saying, oh my god, Coty Airspun powder, it's the best thing ever. And I'm like, you know what, once and for all, I'm gonna try this powder. And it's a loose face powder. This is the original formula, so this is old school loose powder. Like, if your mama and your granny ain't have this, I don't know what they were doing in their lives. I think my aunt had this. This is, whoa, this smell like, I know what it smell like. My aunt had body powders that smell like this. I can't use it on my body. Come, let me see what it say. Exclusive microspun formula where loose, blah 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 blah, ultra soft hides tiny. Maybe I can't use it on my body, but it can't tell talc. I mean, I want now. Cancer of the uterus. Don't put it down there then. Don't put it down there. But this is so powdery and such a throwback. But she says it's a great translucent powder, so I'm gonna try it out. I don't know what's the worst that can happen. I could get cancer, but like, what's that? No, cancer is really bad. I don't need that. Oh my god. I don't want to forget this concealer here from NYX. This is the HD concealer. I got the shade Tan Bronze, which is CW07. And I got this concealer because a lot of people were talking about it and saying that it was a great concealer. It's comparable to the NARS concealer, the Creamy Radiant. And I was like, what? Tell me more. So I did pick this up. And this was the darkest shade they had available in stock. They have darker shades than 07, but this was the one they had in stock, and I picked it up. I was like, I'm gonna see anyway, and it does deepen up on my skin, and it darkens a little bit. It's darker than it seems in the tube, and you can almost see it darkening up on my hand. And you blend it in. It blends in nicely, has good pigmentation. As you see, it does match my skin tone pretty well, so that's a good concealer for me. Again, is shade number 710 Bronze. And then the last drugstore type product that I picked up from Ulta is this Rimmel London Trio. It has a highlight, contour, and blush shade, and that contour shade looked really good. And I would love to share drugstore products with you guys that are really good, so this one looked interesting, so I picked it up. The contour shade though is absolutely gorgeous. The highlight and the blush shade end up being just highlight shades on my skin tone. See, the contour color I think will work really well. Now don't mind that. It blends in really nicely, and it has just a very subtle shadow that it will add to my skin. But then the blush and the highlight shades are really highlight shades together on my skin. The pinky blush though is a little bit reminiscent of NARS Orgasm. But that contour I can definitely say is a great contour shade. If you're my skin tone or a little bit deeper or a little bit lighter, definitely go check this out. This is number 3 Golden Bronze. This was like, what, $3 or something like that? Or not more than $6. Definitely check this out. This is a great contour shade. I've actually used that one and I really liked it. Also from Ulta, I picked up this Laura Geller Spackle Mist, which is a prime, set, and refresh spray. Now, I don't know how I feel about this, and this was pretty pricey, so I'm going to test it out some more to see how I feel. I'm not too enthused right now. It says it contains aloe vera extract and vitamin B5 to keep your skin hydrated, and then refreshing cucumber extract to help reduce puffiness, and it's silicone and oil free. Now, I love my Smashbox primer water, which is why I wanted to try this out, because I love a spray primer because it helps to hydrate my skin as well as prime my skin. And I am not the biggest fan of using an actual moisturizer on my oily skin because, listen, I know people are like, you're oily, you should still use a moisturizer. No, you don't understand the levels of oiliness that is going on. I try to stay away from really creamy moisturizers. So I use something like this. So I'm gonna keep trying it out, see how I like it, but it was pricey, so that one might go back. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to get my act together. Also from Ulta, I picked up some of the new Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation sticks, and I know you guys have heard about these. These are making their rounds. They just debuted. Norvina revealed like a bunch of shades, so there's a great shade lineup. Absolutely well done. And the product itself is, I'm on the fence with it. I got the shade Amber, which seems to be my skin tone, but almost not really. I need a little bit more yellow, and I think there's another tone coming out called Golden Amber, I think, but it hasn't debuted yet. It's one of them that they didn't get on time, so they're coming out with that. And I picked up the shade Chestnut to see if I could warm that up a little bit more. And I also picked up the highlight shade in Banana and the contour shade in Mink. Now here you have the shades. You see Amber, I need a little bit more richness to it. It just doesn't really go with my skin tone, and I've tried to mix these two together to get a richer tone, and it works pretty decently. And from testing them out, from mixing the two shades, I am not that thrilled about the formula. It's meant for oily skin, which I was all over it. I was like, what? Oily skin? Me? And it just didn't quite work out for me. And the contour shade and highlight shade, yeah, they blend out really nicely and they dry down to a powder finish. Now this is Norvina's first step into foundation with the brand, but there were foundations before with Anastasia Beverly Hills, a liquid foundation. So it's not their first time at the rodeo technically, but this is the first time for Norvina, and I think the shade selection is amazing. I think that is amazing, and I think using them as sculpting products, sculpting sticks, it's probably going to be really good because they blend out really nicely. They are a powder finish, so they're not going to be slippery on the skin. But the thing is, they are not a full coverage. They're not even a medium coverage on me. I find that they shear out intensely, and it's almost like not having anything on, which is good for sculpting products, but for foundations, I just think they missed the mark a little bit, especially with other stick foundations on the market. My Teint Idole stick from Lancome, love this guy. The shade match is incredible. The Makeup Forever HD foundation sticks are also a good one, and with Hourglass and their Vanish foundation stick, which I'll tell you right now, I have been really enjoying. Oh my god. So they're up against those brands, and I think they missed the mark with it. There is room for improvement, but with Norvina, she always improves her products. So I would wait a little bit, hold off, because it's not where it needs to be right now. And then last up from Ulta, I picked up these two Becca Multitasking Perfecting Powder, which these are exclusive to Ulta. Ulta is getting their game on, right? They have these two exclusive powders. Again, multitasking finishing powder, so you can use them for setting your makeup, for contour, for highlight. And I picked up the two darkest shades. I got Dark Golden and Deep Bronze, and these are beautiful deep shades that I'm gonna use for bronzing out my skin and for contouring. And Becca, although they're known for their highlights, they have really beautiful powders, and I am very excited to use these. And you see that beautiful color? And this one is really deep too. Definitely check that out if you have darker skin. This would make a great contour shade. Now, I mentioned that I went to Rite Aid. Now, here's the thing. I was hunting down these Rite Aid Renewal eyeshadow brushes because I wanted to use them for my swatches in my videos. I wanted to just get brushes that are dedicated to swatches, but I also love these brushes for my eyeshadow application. So I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and just find them and stock up on them. So I was hunting these down, couldn't find them, went to my Rite Aid nearby my house. I was like, what is this? It na dead. Them not have no more. I mean, what do it? I went to the Rite Aid that I got them. This was closer to work now. I went to a Rite Aid where I got them before. Nothing. I'm like, what is going on? So I ventured outside, you know, my little realm, and I went further out because there was another Rite Aid that was close to my house, but not as close as the other one. So I'm gonna take the red and go out there and go see over there. When I went there, let's take you with me into this Rite Aid. I step in and it's makeup heaven, and they have more brands than just drugstore brands. The typical drugstore brands that you're used to, they had way more brands than that. They had the Girlactik brand, which I've only heard about on Instagram and on YouTube, and it's an online store. It's an indie brand, and they had that in store, and I was able to swatch products and test them out before actually purchasing them. Excuse me, but this was like a dream come true. They also had Senna Cosmetics, again another brand that I've only heard about online. I have never seen it in person, and I got to take a gander at all the beautiful products that they have available. I checked them out. I was looking at the foundations, really luxurious looking products in the drugstore, right? And they also had a brand called Susan Posnick, and I never heard of that brand before, but believe me, I was over there trying to test it out. They had La Roche-Posay in there as well. They had Vichy, and they had this new brand that I never heard of, Eddie Funkhouser, and they had the most amazing brushes. Now the products themselves I wasn't interested in, but I decided to test out one of the brushes. I was like, let me test out this brush and see what they're all about. And I went back the next day and picked up a couple more because I think I fell in love with that blending brush. The blending brush is amazing. They also had Pop Beauty. Pop Beauty used to be available in Ulta. I don't think they're available anymore, but you can probably find them on Haute Look. I found them at Macy's Backstage. I've also seen them in Nordstrom racks, so you can check them out. But they had so many beautiful cosmetics, and their displays were beautiful, and they had all the other brands, so L'Oreal, Maybelline, Revlon. It was just so beautiful. I loved everything. So like I said, I went ahead and grabbed a few of the brushes from Eddie Funkhouser. Now these brushes were not drugstore prices, to be sure. Like this blending brush was $10.99. I think this one was $8.99. This is the eyeshadow brush. You have a pencil brush that was like $8 as well, and then this more domed small shadow brush. But they're so soft and velvety. This blending brush, let me tell you, get this guy. It's so good. I was so excited. I went ahead and bought every single one of the blending brushes that they had, and I can't find any more and I want more. So good. Really beautiful brushes. I am so happy I decided to jump the gun and try them out. I also picked up a La Roche-Posay Antelios Clear Skin Dry Touch Sunscreen that it says won't cause breakouts, and it's oil free and it's broad spectrum SPF 60. And this is a dry touch sunscreen like it said, and I'm always looking for sunscreens that I can use under makeup that won't be too greasy or cause too much flashback. I want a really beautiful dry finish sunscreen, and this one is a really good one, and it's SPF 60. And I've tried this, and it doesn't interfere with my foundation, and it is exactly what it says, a dry touch, and it's almost like, it's almost matte to the finish. So try this out. It's fragrance free, paraben free, and tested on sensitive skin. It's also water resistant for 80 minutes. I mean, summer's coming to an end, but you still should wear sunscreen to protect your skin against the sun. And with me getting old and dusty, I can't make the skin dry up. I can't make the skin dry up. Oh my god, look. Oh, are I going to look? Then, like I said, I was really intrigued by the Girlactik counter, and I grabbed a bunch of their liquid lipsticks, and I have to say that this is one of the best liquid lipstick formulas I have tried ever, hands down. Pigmented, the right consistency, so it's not too liquidy, but it's not moussey or thick. It spreads nicely, great pigmentation, except for the red shade, which is iconic, which I was disappointed by. I thought this was gonna be, bam, a great red. No, not for me. Unless I like sheer red, no, not for me. But their nudes, I picked up their Star Glosses and their matte lip paints. And I am so excited for these guys. You have no idea. So here are the shades that I picked up. This first one here, this pinky one, is Starlet. Beautiful light pink. This one here, Demure, is my favorite shade. It's like a pinky nude, like a rosy nude. Then this one, the second, like that brownish nude, is Playful, which is a gray neutral shade. Then this is Posh, which is a lighter kind of creamy caramel nude. This is the Iconic, which I said is a sheer red. Then over here I have the glosses. Oh my god, this one is Burlesque red. Oh my god, that's such a beautiful red gloss. I'm gonna pair it with this and see how I like it. And then this gloss. This gloss right here is Prettiest, and it is the Prettiest gloss. It's such a great pinky nude. I recommend that to anyone. And then this light one is kind of almost like a sheer one, and that one is sheer bone. And it's just gonna be add a gloss to any kind of lip. And like I said, it's one of the best formulas I've tried, but they're kind of pricey. So I recommend buying them online and trying to find a discount code, because it's Girlactik, they have affiliates and they have codes. So if you can find them online, buy it with the code. They release new shades as well, so definitely check them out. I picked up a couple of those shades off the online website because some of them were exclusive to them, and I was using a code, so I'd rather use it that way. But with Rite Aid, which is where I picked these up, you can use Plenty Points, and Plenty Points, they're associated with Macy's, AT&T, Exxon Mobil. There are a few other places you can use. It's just a rewards card that you use with your purchases, just like Ulta or Sephora, and you collect money back like Ulta, which I love Ulta's rewards programs. Can we talk? I love that. I love getting money off a purchase. It's not like Sephora where you get, oh, 100-point perk. No, I want money off a purchase. That's like the best thing for me. And Ulta is really good with that. And so Plenty's kind of like that. And I used Plenty Points on that purchase so I didn't get hit as hard. But definitely try to get a discount on them because they're expensive. The lip matte, hello, calm down. The matte liquid lip paints are $23 and the glosses are $18. What? No. Not in Drugstore. What was that? That was awful. But yeah, definitely check them out though, because I think that formula is A+. So I'm gonna round up my liquid lipsticks. I don't know how to do it. Like, how should I do that? Like, I'm probably just gonna do a bunch of lip swatch videos and burn my lips off and pray for the best, because I want to showcase a lot of my favorite formulas with you guys. And with liquid lipsticks, you know they're gonna stay on forever, so we gonna see, girl, we gonna see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed my purchases and enjoyed my little Ulta haul and saw some products that you might have thought about. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. I'll leave links to all these products that I mentioned in the video, as well as links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook page where you can check me out. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you guys. Bye!